So we just got the biggest MCU Spider-Man 4 leak to this day. A leak that really overshadows the overtime Megan leak or the Sophie Rain leaks that you see on freaking Twitter or X videos thing, whatever you want to call that website now. But there's this massive MCU Spider-Man 4 leak that's been going around that does say that Spider-Man 4 report claims minor Zendaya role, symbiotes, and Daredevil. Spider-Man 4 will reportedly feature Zendaya's MJ in a minor role. It also says that Charlie Cox is Daredevil, symbiotes, and possibly Mephisto and John Bernathal's Punisher. I don't actually know if that's how you say his name. I feel like I definitely cooked that, and that's my bad. But it says that Zendaya's role in the movie is said to be smaller due to a packed schedule and only August 2025 being available. Now, look, this is a lot of rumors and news that we have kind of all heard about that looks like it is officially being confirmed now. Again, there is still a little bit more news to unpack, but before we do get into that, I want to focus on what we've heard here because I am in love with this rumor and theory that Zendaya's role is only a minor role because theoretically, if we are fully moving on to this new Spider-Man trilogy, we absolutely need a love interest, especially considering Zendaya's MJ is, I think, not really too well received amongst the audience. It's probably like a 50-50, either like her or you don't. I am on the side of I don't really like her, not only as an actor in it, but I don't like the character of MJ and what they've got going on in those movies. It just doesn't really appeal to me. And now that I think that Peter is becoming an adult and going into this massive college phase, we definitely need another new love interest or two. And of course, I think the main one that we really should be seeing is, of course, Black Cat. I mean, from all the rumors going around right now is that Peter is supposed to be struggling being Spider-Man. He's supposed to struggle being, of course, Peter Parker. And I think one way to get this guy loving being Spider-Man again is for Black Cat to jump in the picture, because we know her only intention is to love Spider-Man. She doesn't really care that much about Peter Parker. And I just think having an adult actress to play this adult character with adult themes, which Black Cat very much is, a complete different overall and shift from Zendaya's nerdy, teenage, annoying persona, which I think she is, to a more mature Black Cat who really uses Spider-Man, could be such an awesome dynamic that we see in film. And look, there's been a rumor they've gone really big with the casting on that. Again, I think Madeline Klein, we've talked about on this channel, has been reportedly potentially cast as an unknown role, so that could very well be Black Cat, and goddamn, she's so hot. That shit will have me freaking busting all over the screen, so I'd be so excited for that. Again, Daredevil having a small role in it makes sense, considering that I think a part of the Marvel Sony contract is to always include a major, like, Marvel Avenger character, and I'm guessing that's going to be Daredevil in some role, in some capacity. Again, we've talked about Mephisto on the channel before. I don't know what direction they're really going to be going with that. But yeah, overall, symbiotes as well. We've been hearing that symbiotes will be fully introduced in this one and will have some type of impact. So that's really interesting. And then the rumor that's all been going around saying that Andrew and Tobey will both have bigger roles in Spider-Man 4. According to the comic circus, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will both have large roles in Spider-Man 4. The film story is expected to follow the multiversal route once again. Now look, yeah, it does look like they're going really big with this film. It looks like they're going to go really big with the whole trilogy, introducing symbiotes and introducing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and having this massive movie as a in-between film of the Avengers movies. So realistically, another Avengers film. It really does seem like that's going to be the way they're going to do it. And then I think Spider-Man 5 is probably going to be like near another Avengers film, because if that comes out in 2027, that will just be a year after or 2028, sorry, that will just be a year after the Avengers film, of course. So again, having an Avengers film in 2026, a Spider-Man film in 2026, another Avengers film in 2027, and the Spider-Man film in 2028. Those are 4 blockbusters in 3 years that Marvel are going to be able to bank on. And look, I know Multiversal, a lot of people are pretty tired with and whatnot, but at the end of the day, Sony are going to go big or they're going to go home, and it's really unfortunate that we're probably not going to be seeing those smaller Scorpion stories or even a Mr. Negative story anytime soon. But at the end of the day, it looks like Spider-Man 4 could be this fully fledged out multiversal story that has symbiotes and other Spider-Man in it. And then number 5 could be really a Black Cat story and all of this type of stuff and some really awesome themes. So there's definitely a lot going on here. A lot of really interesting and amazing leaks that I'm super interested to see how they, of course, do go with. I'm pretty sure this was, of course, inevitable and something that nearly everyone and their dad, of course, saw was going to be happening. But for those of you who haven't seen this by now, we recently got some news that says that Sony's Spider-Man universe is dead. Bummer, Sony's Spider-Man universe is reportedly going on hold after the release of Kraven the Hunter. Sony is shifting its focus to Spider-Man related projects, including Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland, the animated Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse movie, and the live-action Spider-Noir series starring Nicolas Cage. This decision follows mixed reception and lackluster performance of previous Spider-Man universe films like Morbius and Madam Web. While the universe, in its current form, is paused or concluded, there's potential for a revival or reimagining in the future. Again, there's some key things that were, of course, said there. Obviously, the fact is that this won't be the end of, the future of probably Spider-Man spin-off movies and all that type of stuff. Again, we know their universe, for the most part, failed, and a lot of their projects were things that no one really went to go and see. But in saying that, the Spider-Man IP is way too massive and way too big for them not to do something with this project and these films. Of course, I think it's good that they're not making any more of these Sony spin-off movies without Spider-Man. It makes a ton of sense. But in saying that, the money bag will be there eventually, I think, for Tom Holland to not only continue these, I think, Spider-Man films, but also to maybe do a film with like the Sinister Six or something like that. Again, I reported previously on this channel as well that Sony were developing a Sinister Six movie. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple years, when all the bad news and negative talk on this Sony universe has died down, that Sony go up to, Tom Holland's Spider-Man and be like, look, we want to do a Sinister Six movie. We want to get Tom Hardy involved. We want to get Jared Leto as Morbius, all these type of characters and things, right? And Tom Holland will get offered a big bag and legitimately won't be able to say no. I wouldn't be surprised at all, and I think that will be the reality. And look, it was only like a couple months ago as well that I talked about on this channel that the Agent Venom film was reportedly in development. So even though that might not be happening now, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony inevitably have plans for that in the future, and we could maybe be seeing something like that, happen one day. But again, there's a lot of ifs and buts with Spider-Man right now and what the future of these films are, of course, going to be looking like. The reality is, for now, though, we're not going to be getting another Venom movie. We're not going to be getting another, Kraven the Hunter movie unless this movie makes $1 billion, which, again, I think it's projected to be the least earning opening weekend out of all the Sony Universe movies, and that's in a timeline that has Madam Web. So yeah, I'm not exactly too sure. I think these will be the last ones for now, but don't be surprised if Sony, again, the amount that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be able to do for these upcoming Avengers movies is going to be insane on the box office. And I think that Sony will see that, and they're going to want to capitalize on this. And I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire side projects get put in the work, especially with how the, Sony are not worrying about these spin-off films anymore. Again, I think they will worry about some Tobey Maguire stuff, worry about some Andrew Garfield stuff, and in my opinion, they should be pouring all their resources into a Spider-Man animated universe. Again, I know there's been rumors that the directors and creators of those films haven't been getting along with Sony, but if I was them, I would appoint those guys to be like the James Gunn and, you know, Dave Filoni type characters of these universes, and get them to make a film series that includes not only these Spider-Verse films, but an animated Spider-Woman film, maybe an animated, even an Andrew Garfield animated Spider-Man movie, or even an animated Sinister Six, something like that. There is so many things they could be doing. Again, an animated villain film we talked about as well is potentially in the work. They could be really looking to explore a lot of these projects that are really cool. And yeah, I don't know why they just don't put their full attention to those films, which I think they will inevitably be doing. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment all your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you guys think about Sony and their Spider-Man universe and what's going on with all of that? Let me know. Of course, subscribe to my gaming channels, which is this one, my IRL/vlogging channel and my sports channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.